Alright, so this is how to change oil with Seafoam. So first things first, you're going to pop your hood, open the hood to your engine bay. You're going to locate your engine filler, oil filler cap. It's on the left side of this 6.0 Vortec LS. It's marked with 5W30 up top because that's the type of oil that this takes. You want to take your Seafoam, make sure you read the instructions carefully. This 6.0 takes 6 quarts of oil, so I'm going to put about a third of this can of Seafoam in it, which equates to about 6 ounces. 6 ounces for 6 quarts is what is listed on the side of it, but make sure to read the applications for your engine. Make sure you put the oil filler cap back on. Don't want any spills or contaminants getting into the crankcase. Now you're going to go back to your fuel tank. Some people like to put the Seafoam in the air intake, flush it out that way. I prefer just to dump it all on the fuel tank, because I hope it does at least something to clean the injectors as it passes through the fuel system. Now you're going to start your vehicle, see how many miles you have on your trip. This is important because you want to go about 100 miles. So now you're going to drive to your nearest O'Reilly's or Walmart. I like to go to Walmart. Walmart has cheaper prices on oils, and for me, in my later model, well, not later, 2000's not that old, but in the older Chevys, they have more fuel filter options compared to AutoZone and O'Reilly's. Now you're going to drive, like I said, about 100 miles. If you go a little over or a little under, it don't really matter. Just 100 miles, make sure that the Seafoam has plenty of time to get in and work, break up the junk that's in your oil. Some recommend to drive hard and get to high RPMs during this 100-mile period. I think under normal driving operations, the Seafoam should work just fine in the crankcase. So now that you've driven 100 miles, now it's time to change your oil. So get your stuff and locate your oil drain plug and get your oil drain pan underneath. Unfortunately, I was not smart enough to foresee that this oil drain pan I have, got them from a friend, is way too small for the hot oil that's about to pour out. So this is a how-to of not to drain your oil. There's plenty of other things. It's just pretty simple. As you pop the drain plug, let the oil drain in the pan. Here I'm showing you can't really see because it's dark, but that's where the oil drain plug is. Here's a picture of it in clear daylight. So you got your drain plug there, and then you got your oil filter goes up there. It's pretty tight. You need a specialized tool it's not hand tight to get it off. So now you're about to see my unfortunate mistake that I should not have seen. I have a bigger oil pan. I just was too lazy to dig that out. I got this smaller one from a friend, so I thought, hey, I'll use it. And oil went everywhere. Alright, so now that you're done with that, you're going to take your oil filter and you're going to prime it with putting fresh oil in it so there's no extra air getting into the system. You want to take that oil and put it around that oil ring and get it nice and lubricated so you can get a nice tight seal. So now you're going to gently try and keep it level. I don't. I get oil over it, makes it hard to tighten. But you're going to try and get it as close before you start screwing so you don't mess up the threads. And just thread that oil filter on. Get it nice and hand tight. Tight, but not too tight that it's going to be a pain in the butt to get off, because it does tighten throughout operation use. So now it's time to fill your engine back up with oil. Choose the larger oil funnel. It just makes it a lot easier. So now take your oil, try to open it with one hand, and just start dumping. This larger oil funnel makes it kind of nice. Obviously, 6 quarts of oil. It's not a whole ton, but it's also not a lot. It could take a lot of time, but bigger oil funnel makes it easier for me. Make sure you get all that oil in there. And now, since you're a cheapskate and really don't want to spend too much money for oil and grab 1 quart, you grab 2 5-quarts. So now you got to pour just 1 quart off. So important to just pour a little bit and keep checking. It's nice that they have the markings on the sides with clearing so you can see just how much oil put in there. See, I did not put enough, about 4.5. I didn't even get quite 4.5 in the first pour. do this on a level surface. I noticed that I was on a little bit on level surface here. There's about 1/4 oil. Now, important that you check the dipstick to make sure your oil level is right and that you don't need to add or take out some oil. Over oil and not have enough oil and over filling the oil is both bad for the engine health. There's a specific amount of oil in it for a reason, so make sure that it's within the operating range. Now, it was getting this dipstick back again was a whole lot harder than I thought it would be one-handed, and it's pretty dark. This camera's actually making it brighter than what it was. See me struggle in this stupid Alaskan night when it gets dark at 3:30. Even with street lights, you can't see it, but the oil is within the perfect operating levels. So now you want to start it up. You want to watch your oil pressure gauge to make sure it's at operating levels and not under or over pressured. Check to make sure any codes are throwing. But that's how you change your oil with Seafoam.